I'm Colt Holt. Steve Beasley is on vacation. We begin tonight with poor parenting sweeping across the Sunshine State. In Seminole County, Natalie Fausch and Albert Thomas are parents who don't need nothing but a good time. The couple was arrested after leaving their 20-month-old child inside their hotel room so they could go out and party. To ensure the infant didn't make any unauthorized calls, they unplugged the phone, which immediately alerted hotel security, who discovered the unattended child. The child was released into the custody of a relative, and Fausch and Thomas were taken to Seminole County Jail for a different type of good time. And now over to Port St. Lucie, where 18-year-old Victoria Fowler is in custody tonight after threatening to kill her son and her baby daddy. It began when Fowler asked her baby daddy for money for a tattoo. Wisely, he refused. Not so wisely, Fowler stole his wallet, punched him in the chest, and threatened to kill him and their son should he call the police. Suffice it to say, the police were called, and Fowler was promptly arrested. What better way to spend a Friday night than at the bar with your children? That's how Gainesville resident Elizabeth Lowry Gale likes to party. She loaded up her 8 kids into the family truckster and set out for Foo Bar, sideswiping a car en route. Luckily, no one was injured. And in what will come as no shock, authorities discovered her blood alcohol content was 2 times the legal limit. Gale is now seeing lots of bars in the Gainesville County Jail, where she is currently being held on $275,000 bail. Foo Bar indeed. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Keith R. Higgins. You might remember me from such films as Full Disclosure, My Meeting with Anthony, and the 1999 Central Florida Film Festival's best film, Daddy, Please Don't Touch Me There. You know, I've dated some fine broads in my day, and all of them were unique in their own special way, but one thing they all had in common was their monthly visitor. That's right, every 21 to 28 days, every woman would get a visit from her Aunt Flo and her crazy cousin Carrie. In fact, you may have experienced situations such as this. Or something perhaps as frightening as this. It's during this period that I've often just wanted to take off for a few days and get away from it all. That is until Manson called and introduced me to something as old as time itself, the menstrual hut. My wife and I have been using them for years, and our relationship has never been stronger. Here's our personal hut in Taos. These huts are built to order to suit your partner's needs. Here's the Frank Lloyd Wright-inspired hut. And here's one designed by famed interior decorator Sanchez Chili Gomez. Come on down to Manson's Menstrual Hut, conveniently located on the corner of MLK Boulevard and FDR Drive. Manson's Menstrual Huts, making your relationship period-proof. Welcome back. In politics, there appears to be a lack of communication within the Republican Party. Presidential frontrunner Mitt Romney has been referring to Florida as Obama's Florida, pointing to the 8.6 unemployment rate as an example of President Obama's failed policies. But nobody told Governor Rick Scott this was a bad thing. Scott has been touting the same unemployment figure, claiming it is the lowest the state has seen since 2008. Continuing our coverage of the 2012 Republican National Convention, we go now to our senior political correspondent, Keyshawn Jackson, outside the Tampa Bay Forum. Keyshawn, what can you tell us?
All right, hold this. Hey, let me show you something. Wabinga!
What are you going to do with that?
Stand your ground law. I'm going to shoot someone in the face if they look at me cockeyed.
You know, we'll get back to Keyshawn just as soon as we can. In the meantime, why don't we have a word from our local sponsors? Idiot. What? Apparently we don't have any local sponsors, but we do have Treme Flowers on the line, ready to give us the lowdown on his Olympic experience. Treme, how's it going over there in London?
Thanks, Colt. Gotta tell you, we had so much fun at the Olympics. We saw so many different sporting events, it was crazy. Myself and my friend Kevin just had a heck of a good time. And after the Olympics, we decided to go to Paris for a little retreat. And unbeknownst to me, my friend Kevin took it upon himself to purchase a giant vat of personal lubricant at the duty-free shop. And it sort of spilled all over the luggage and sort of ruined everything, including my classic Kodak Instamatic. So I don't really have any footage from the Olympics. Do have some photos, so let's look at those. Here I am at Buckingham Palace, Stonehenge. Hey, did you know these guys are named after gin? Big Ben, not what I kind of pictured it to be. Here I am watching sports with Mrs. Phelps, and watching my men's wrestling. And I saw Daniel Craig swimming. I didn't know he was in the Olympics. So there you have it, my trip to London, 2012, the Olympics. Tremaine Flowers reported for FLNNN News. Sports.
Now, with the 5-day forecast, let's go to Jennifer Jackson. Jennifer, what's going on over there? Thank you, Jennifer. And finally tonight, in Brevard County, a 14-year-old boy and his 18-year-old girlfriend are lucky to be alive after stealing the boy's parents' car and driving it directly into a lake. The boy managed to pull himself and his lady friend from the vehicle before it was completely submerged. Upon removal, police discovered fish, the boy's hat, and a treasure trove of computer equipment belonging to the boy's father. As he was already on home detention, the 14-year-old now faces parole violation and grand theft charges. While the prosecution builds its case against the boy, his parents have dropped him off at the Brevard County Juvenile Detention Center. Now that's what I call being grounded. Steve Beasley will be back. I'm Colt Holt, and for all of us here on the FLNNN crew, have a good night.